Hello and welcome to Cooking with Carol. Today we do that Wisconsin classic, instant pudding.
Take one. Carol Barth with making graham pudding crackers. No.
Good morning. Guten Abend. Guten Morgen. Guten Abend. Good day, sorry. Bonjour. Welcome to my cooking show. We were going to make something like lemon meringue pie, but then we had an upset with scheduling, so now we're going to make no-bake graham cracker pudding tort. And it's really not no-bake because I have to stir up the tapioca, but you know how this goes. Okay, your ingredients, we'll go through them as I'm working, but I probably should start the tapioca pudding first because we have to let it sit for a little bit. Why isn't everything set up? I'm sorry, my assistant quit on a moment's notice, so I have to do everything myself. I'm pretty sure Rachel Ray doesn't have to go through this. Hello. Okay, you need a box of tapioca, and we are going to whisk egg and milk in a medium saucepan.
Cut.
We have to get the ingredients together because things have just gone a tad awry. So, we will need at least, I believe, 1 egg. And I have to separate it. Oh, for God's sake, that should have been done prior. Okay, mix egg and milk in a medium saucepan until blended. Okay. Medium saucepan. It's here already. How wonderful. So we will crack an egg in there. Yes. And let's see, we need milk. So we need 2 3/4 cups milk, and we are substituting almond milk. May not have enough. Let's see, what are we on here? Oh, 2 3/4 cup. Really, for liquid measurements, you should be using a glass measuring cup because this is a cup of like flour or whatever, and there is a tad bit difference, but we'll just carry on. One.
Cut.
Two.
Take 5.
And then we are going to do 3/4 of a cup, and of course we are going to guess. But that's okay, because sometimes that happens in kitchens. Not mine on TV usually, but you know, you gotta make do with what you got. Okay. We may need this later. Okay, and then we need 3 tablespoons minute tapioca, and then we're gonna let it sit. Tablespoons. That's a teaspoon. That's a tablespoon. And of course, this is the correct measurement because it's a dry measure. 1, 2, 3. Put this on the side. I think we can put this away. And then we'll need something to stir it with. I myself like wooden spoons, but it's a throwback to my childhood when my mother used to chase me around the kitchen to give me a spanking with the wooden spoon. And you don't need to turn the oven on or the stove on yet. What we are doing is just making sure that it is stirred completely and the egg yolk is not swimming around by itself. And then letting it stand for 10 minutes. So this again?
Plus and minus.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. So now that we have that okay, we need to pay attention to the chocolate pudding, which should be pretty easy because I don't think it is actually no baking. Here we go. Prepare pudding as directed on package. That's not it. I think it's a stir thing. Well, where is it? Okay. Beat pudding mix and milk with whisk until soft, set in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to need more of the almond milk because I do not see it in the refrigerator. I think we should go to commercial. I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Cut. Take 7.
Okay, now we are going to start the preparation of the chocolate jello. Chocolate pudding. And you can use any flavoring you like. My mother just used chocolate pudding, graham cracker, chocolate pudding, graham cracker, chocolate pudding, and then put it in the refrigerator. And director, tell your cameraman not to train it down on my bare roots. I didn't have a chance to get my hair done, okay? All right, fine. Back again. So we are going to put the pudding mix all over the counter. I think that little bit amount is not going to hurt. I hope not anyway. Honestly, I want you to not give that girl her paycheck. She's making my life a living hell. Well, here we are again. And gotta shake it a little bit, get it all out, so you don't get it all over the kitchen. Oh, did it again. Ah! These things happen. You just have to be prepared. Okay. Alright, we're good. So now we need double the amount of milk, and again we're going to be using almond milk, which is milk. 5-minute directions, for crying out loud.
Two, one.
Take 8. Carol Barth and her pudding.
So then again, we're going to pull out the almond milk, and you can use regular milk, but we happen to like almond milk here. And of course, we're all going to be eating it, which is why you make something you like. And I believe it said 3 cups. Oop, wrong one. 2 cups, so it's 4, because we doubled the recipe. So we have 1. And again, use the glassware because that's the correct procedure. That's 1. Count with me now.
1, 2.
Nope, now we're down to 3/4. Okay, I need an assistant.
3, 2, 1.
Take 9. Carol Barth and her pudding.
Okay, so now we're at 1 3/4. Please, thank you so much. It's so nice to have helpful people in the kitchen. Okay. I have learned that you should grab it from the top and pull up, because otherwise you're futzing with the cotton picking thing. Okay, so now we are going to 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to whisk that until blended, and I think we end up letting it stand. And we'll just double check that. 2 minutes, everything will be soft set. Okay. Whisk! Those of you with carpal tunnel syndrome will find this a tad hard to do because your wrist is going to get tired. But what you want to do is just kind of swirl it around and just keep mixing it until, you know, it dissolves enough. I had a lovely manicure the other day. Don't you like it? I do too. Women should do that for themselves on a fairly regular basis. Okay. I think we have like 2 minutes left, so we'll have a pretty good idea of when it's going to, the timer goes off and we can let this set. You know, normally we would have this staged, right? Right, okay. And sing to yourself for 2 minutes, because like being on an exercise bike, 2 minutes seems like an eternity. And I know it looks a tad not smooth, but oh well, that's what happens when you change the ingredients, and odds are chocolate pudding is chocolate pudding no matter if it's lumpy or not. Your children won't mind. They'll just be so happy that you made something that they can grab and eat. Not have to cut, not have to warm up, that sort of thing, and that's why this is such a good recipe. Okay, that is our tapioca saying we're ready to do the next step.
2, 1.
Cut. Take 10, Carol, in her pudding.
The incompetence in this studio is going to have to get better. It was a half a cup, and I did not notice it. So we gotta do 4 more. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. There. I'm pretty sure now it won't look like concrete. Chocolate concrete. So we're going to whisk that. Oh! Oh my. Well, nothing gained, nothing lost. No wonder it was lumpy. Because of this little mishap, the tapioca should be well ready to be made because it's been sitting way too long. But that's okay. Nothing's worse than rushing and screwing up your recipe. Has it been 2 minutes on the exercycle yet?
Okay,
Action.
All right. We need to stir in the sugar. I forgot to put the sugar in. Oh, for crying out loud. So, since I've been standing for so long, I'm not going to worry about it. So we're going to do a 1/3 cup sugar. Nothing's going right today. And you just have to be ready for these little instances that can go wrong in your life. So we would want a 1/3 cup sugar. And that's a 1/3. Thank you! Whoever did this. Of course, the sugar is a little on the cubey side, so let's just move it over here. And you want to level it off. And you pour it in there, and hopefully it will still turn out like our chocolate pudding was on the verge of not doing. So we're going to turn it on. Oh. Thank you. I'm looking, where the heck is it? Okay, and I think it has to bubble and bring to a full boil. Stirring constantly, remove from heat, stir in vanilla. Vanilla! Okay. So while we're doing this, another shot, come on. So anyway, you will be stirring this until it gets cool.
No.
Commercial? No, I'm just saying, I turned it up so we could speed this
I
up.
want it to boil and then we'll put it down to medium because you have to do that for another 5 minutes of boiling. Bring to a full boil.
Oh, this is what we'll do. Am I on camera now?
What?
Okay, my new assistant was going to just step in for a minute, is to continuing to stir this. I really think we should get BK. And you should, like, you know, announce that he's needed in my kitchen. Okay? I am going to introduce a new person to my cooking. This is Betty. We have just like grabbed her off the street, and I don't want to tax her too much. So, he's not answering? All right, I am going to go get Mr. BK. So, come along with me, folks, and you can see what the rest of the studio looks like. Come on. We have some steps for those of us who can go up them. And those of us who have had an injury have to go up one step at a time. And always hold the handrail. It is a safety issue. When are we going to put in an elevator? Okay. Odds are he's hung up somewhere and we just have to go collect him. Oh, Mr. BK! Mr. BK! Oh, Mr. BK, you are indeed hung up. Come. We need you in the kitchen. Yes. Hello, people. Notice he has orange hair. All great artistes have red hair or orange. Except for Ronald McDonald. All right, now we have to go down the steps one at a time again. As my father would say, it's the shits to get old.
Carol Cooking, take 11. Action.
And my very good assistant is going to come and help us out. Now just stand there. We'll just stand there. Okay. So, it is now getting into a slow rolling boil. A gathered pot or a watched pot does not boil immediately. And then we are going to remove it from heat. Add 1/3 of a teaspoon vanilla. If you get the pure vanilla from Mexico, you only need to do it at half strength because it's pretty potent from down there. So now we need to get it. We need to get 3 tablespoons. I'm pretty sure this is 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And when the kiddies are watching you and they think they want to taste the vanilla, don't let them, because it really is by itself. So we put the top on in case we bump into it. See, and then I lick it anyway. And then we go like this. And now I'm just gonna stir that in. And then it has to sit for 20 minutes, I believe. By the way, Beaker, did you wipe your shoes off before I put you on the counter? Okay. Because you know what, we don't need that. We don't need junk from the ground up on the counter. Okay, so now I removed it from heat, and I believe we have to let it stand for 20 minutes. Oh yes, over here. Oops, which will give us plenty of time. Do I have to hit anything? Okay, thank you for letting me know that. Sometimes I just forget. Okay, so now we're going to start with putting it together. And if you don't mind having a really messy kitchen, you can have the children come in on this, or your husband if he's got bad thumbs. So what you want to do is take your graham crackers and line the bottom, and that will be your first layer. If you use a bigger pan, you want one, Beaker? No? Okay, I'll put it on the side here in case you get hungry. Put it over there. Okay. So you want to open them up and kind of layer them as best you can to make actually a really good layer, because we're going to need a base layer. What do you think? Not bad, huh? Not bad for an old fart. I can't wait till I retire. So anyway. And of course, these are senior citizen proof. Take that, Beaker. No. Are you helping? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. But now we have it. Don't get old. It really is tiresome. Cooking will keep you young. Your husband, your young husband chasing you around the kitchen will help too, but you know, we can't always have those. Alright, so we're going to layer it a little bit more. And I'm going to do a little bit more on this layer than it's bad, isn't it? I know. I can't wait till we get an assistant. We'll just do that. I'm pretty sure we have enough graham crackers. Fill in the holes. Oh, I'm so thankful that you wiped your shoes off. Because you know that little dog that belongs to the director, he never picks up his poop at home, and we certainly don't want that happening here and dragging it in. Okay, so next, you've made a somewhat good basis. You want to take your chocolate pudding. You can lick it off after we're done with the show. And then you want to pour it over this and make a really nice layer. I'd give it to you, Beaker, but we'd all be wearing it, and I have enough issues the way it is. Here. And so you want to make a really good layer. And then what you're going to do is cover it again with some graham crackers. And then you're going to add the layer of tapioca pudding. And then you're going to put graham crackers on again. And then you're going to do that until, like, kind of like lasagna, until you get to the point where you've run out of pudding. And the pudding itself is your layer, because they're your top layer. And I don't know about your children. Oh, Beaker, I made a mistake. Here, lick this. Thank you. Okay. So, but the little film that gets on it, you know, in the refrigerator, is like the skin of a turkey, which you're not supposed to eat because it's very fattening, but it still is. I have problems with the children coming in and helping themselves to it, and when I take it out, it's topless. Not at all good for a cooking show. Okay, so you've had a pretty good layer in there. And then you want to layer some more graham crackers, right? Here, you put the first one in. Very good, Beaker. So you want a full-time job instead of, you know, hanging around in the lab? No? Okay, I understand. Are you an old German or that, it's Womanwerk? And as much as I'm thankful that you're helping me, please don't call me in the lap because you saw how messy I was in the kitchen.
The producer is saying, could you please move that wrapper?
Oh, the producer. Okay. What we'll do is throw it in the trash. Good? Well, the help probably dropped it a couple times bringing the boxes into the kitchen, and so we have like pieces. Beaker, how much time do we have left on the 5, 10, 15? Okay, we have 15 more minutes. So while I finish this up, we don't have to go to the bathroom. We're going to take a little bit of a break because we all need to freshen up. See you later. Shut the timer off because it did go off during station break. Now, it's a heavy hot and it's also hot, so unless you have an Italian marble counter. Oh, there you are! Good for you! I know how hard the chocolate's gonna be for you not to touch it. Okay, I want a little scoop. Here, we'll just do this. Okay, so now it's kind of gelled, as you can see. And what we want to do is do a layer of tapioca pudding over the graham crackers and chocolate. Good, eh? Don't get your nose too much in there or your nose will get all red from the heat. Smells good, doesn't it? We all had a really nice station break because all of us had a, freshen up sort of thing. So, these things happen, right? Nature called! Yoo-hoo! And we answered, yes we did. And then that assistant Betty, oh good job! I like it that you're always helpful. Does your wife appreciate that too? Yeah, I know wives are that way. You have to be single to understand these things. Okay, so you make a nice little layer. Now, if you would decide, if your children eat Jell-O, you can do almost the same thing, but what you're going to do is put it in a, if you want to do separate ones, you're going to layer it in cups or whatever, and you kind of want to turn it a little bit and put it in the refrigerator for it to set. And then when you get done, you do like a layer of banana, or a layer of lemon, a layer of raspberry, whatever, all different layers, and then you let it set. And then when you bring it out for dessert, you can put some whipped cream on it or Cool Whip. Cool Whip is one of our sponsors, so we all like to mention that. And so, then that's a nice thing, and it looks really crazy, and kids like it. Okay, so now we've done a layer of, look good? I was gonna say, you're not a tapioca lover, are you? That's okay. It looks like we're gonna have maybe a very thin layer for the next one, and that's so fine. This is just a work in progress, right? So, and then what I like to do sometimes is just press it a little bit. You know those torts that you get at Christmas time when it has, it's like a bread and it has a layer of graham crackers and they cut it open. I think it's a gouache tort or whatever. This is like the Grafton, Wisconsin version. So, I know the official offices are in Texas, but the real world in the real world. Okay, so then we go like this. I was going to say, the director was right. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten those graham crackers for breakfast the other day. Whatever. And Well, thank you, Mr. BK. Yes. You are just so helpful. You didn't throw that one in there with that you were eating, did you? I don't see it right now. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, good job. You are just so helpful. Okay, since this is just a repeat of what we did, we'll cut to commercial and we'll come back and show you what the finished product looks like. Cut.
Cut. Action.
And Beaker helped, and what we did was we just combined the tapioca and the chocolate, because during that little break we had, which was 15 minutes long, the crew got into the chocolate pudding and ate most of it. So this is the best we can do. Now what we do is we put it in the refrigerator and we let it sit there until dinner. And then you serve a nice cold or cool, almost dobosh tort, and when you put it on a plate, it looks like you spent lots and lots of time on it, which we did, but you don't need to know that. So thank you very much, one and all. I see the director has left the building. We can't show his picture. Oh, he's joining us. I will put this in the refrigerator and then
There he is.
we will put a...
Say hi.
And there's our fine
Hello.
director. Yay!
All
So
right.
thank you one and all. See you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.